Hello and welcome to Bud Explains, where I take a subject, be that rules, history or concept from the role-playing world, and try to explain it to you in a way that I hope helps you understand how it works. Today's explanation is Pisces and Delta Green, Part 3. Again, please note that this is generally considered handler-only information, so watch at your own risk. The Seven Valley campaign was where everything changed for Pisces. It was put into action by the director of Pisces, Brigadier General Charles Balfour, who'd been on the lookout for paranormal evidence in the UK for around 20 years, viewing the re-emergence of the occult to be in line with the 1960s youth counterculture. The trail of the paranormal eventually led him to the Severn Valley and centred around the village of Goatswood. The operation itself was similar to that conducted by Delta Green on Innsmouth, with the army razing the village to the ground using Gurkhas, with the idea that they would feel less guilt in killing English civilians, and their limited use of the English language meaning that leaks were less likely, and their Nepalese heritage making it considered that they were more likely to believe the idea of supernatural forces. Many steps were taken. The village had all residents removed, the houses were demolished, and the land purchased by the Ministry of Defence using the compulsory purchase order law as a cover story that it was going to be used as an airbase. The cult artefact known as the Moon Lens was confiscated, and the land never developed. The Goatswood cultists were placed in an old World War II freighter that was waiting to be scrapped, with Balfour nixing a plan to scuttle the ship at sea with all hands aboard. Eventually they were shipped off to Herta and imprisoned in Magonia without any charges under the suspect authority of Pisces. In 1974, Pisces returned to the Severn Valley and imprisoned the proprietor of a bookstore called American Books Bought and Sold. His name was Wilbur Bromley, and he was an avatar of Ugolinak. He was taken to Herta. Then, in 1977, they visited Lower Brichester to go to the old Varsity Theatre, which a cult had been calling home since 1900. Some astrological text and an unusual telescope were recovered from there. Following this, Pisces took over the Inland Revenue Office in 1980, following the strange death of a homeless man in one of the offices. The building was sealed, fumigated and then turned to rubble due to an unknown species of arachnid infesting the place. Live specimens were, of course, recovered and taken away to be studied and dissected. The final operation in the Severn Valley was in 1987, where Brichester Lake was drained. It had been the focus of paranormal happenings and disappearances. Local legends and a book called Revelations of Glarkey claimed an alien monster had fallen from the sky eons ago and lived at the bottom of the lake. Although no monster was ever recovered, there were signs of a meteor impact and several dozen corpses were found there, disintegrating when they were removed from the lake. As of 1999, Pisces remains detached from the UK intelligence community. They are an unknown outside the offices of the Prime Minister at MI5 and MI6, and those lowest-ranking agents of Pisces think that they work for a top-secret section of MI5. They are known as the Section, and stay vigilant in their pursuit of any paranormal threats to the realm. They tend to stay within the British Isles, which has made it extremely difficult for those that serve the Great Old Ones to operate in the United Kingdom. Pisces has MI5 intercepting mail, providing phone taps and bugging homes. The UK equivalent to the NSA, GCHQ, monitors email and radio traffic. Pisces agents infiltrate cults looking for corruption, and if it is found, it is taken out. The SAS and SBS murder sorcerers, kidnap cultists, and steal or destroy artefacts and texts when instructed by Pisces. Legal methods are rarely used as secrecy is paramount, and Pisces secretly and selflessly wages a war against paranormal threats to this green and pleasant land. Except that this is the world of Delta Green. If only it were that simple. There is in fact a secret history to Pisces. Except for the utmost elite of the organisation, Pisces has given way to a process that began over 30 years ago. As previously explained, the Shan of Goatswood cerebrally infested the brains of a number of Pisces agents, and as the years have passed they've dug deeper and deeper. Around 1998 they had reached the level whereby they manoeuvred into the directorship of Pisces. This was actually easier than one may imagine. Due to the nature of what they do, Pisces suffers from the "he can't be one of them so he's one of us," a disease that plagues many intelligence agencies. This is due to the traitor being someone they have a long history with, and as such they couldn't possibly be one of them. Also, being promoted in Pisces depended on their success in the field, and those infected with the Shan found themselves knowing about hypergeometry, the mythos and cult activity, being fed it directly into their brain, with the success this would often bring leading to promotion. Unfortunately, the human brain is only capable of knowing so much, so those infected would go irrevocably insane, leading to the Shan always being on the lookout for new hosts, especially those of a higher authority and with deeper access. Due to jumping from host to host, they have reached the summit, and once sat in the seat of the director, the infection spread outward to all arms of Pisces. As of 1999, the Shan controlled about 10% of Pisces personnel, though this 10% is the really important percentage. They have control over the top executives, internal affairs, which is responsible for their internal security, and the arm that handles new agent recruitment and training. As such, Pisces serves the Shan and keeps their colony safe from interference. Due to the Shan being Azathoth-worshipping religious bigots, they use Pisces to destroy other cults and mythos entities that may threaten them bodily or religiously. This makes it look to all appearances that the section are sticking to the original mission, and that only followers of the Demon Sultan are allowed on Earth. The Shan do this due to their innate ability to mentally infest a host. While they are telepathic, they're not so powerful as to dominate the will of others. Instead, they read their thoughts and memories, searching for flaws or weaknesses to exploit. They use these memories or weaknesses to condition their host, and can even produce ecstatic visions to manipulate the humans to obey their commands. They could also expose the host to the memories of Azathoth, which would destroy their mind entirely, though this is more of a threat than something that is done, as hosts that have been driven insane tend to act unpredictably. The Shan prefer instead to play the long game and erode the host's sanity until they step into line. The more willing they are, the more corrupted they are, and have less will of their own, ultimately becoming an extension of the Shan's will. The Shan are dormant during almost all daylight hours, as being active would expose them to images of sunlight, something they find disturbing and they shun when possible. Due to this, many of the Pisces directors have windowless offices. Eventually, a willing host is ground into a state of insanity to the point where they are no longer able to interact with other humans without immediately giving themselves away, and once they reach this stage, the Shan abandon them, and if it is determined that they know too much, they just have them imprisoned in Magonia. Others have car accidents, heart attacks, and are even locked away in psychiatric hospitals until Pisces can have them pass away through natural causes. They of course won't be missed due to being a member of Pisces and will simply disappear. Though it may seem bleak for Pisces at this time, not all is lost. There are those who are aware of the Shan and who are actively fighting against them. Okay, that concludes part 3 of this series. The next part will go into the Army of the Third Eye. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like and share it, and make sure to subscribe for more Bud Explains videos in the future. Bud out.